Once again, it's that time of the year where we sit down and take stock of what we've been able to accomplish, tick some boxes, and then see what is still pending. For at the beginning of the year, we all make resolutions, or most of us at least, and see the things that we want to attain. And of course, this is the time now to see what has been achieved. This is Money and Markets, and I'm Charles Boji, your host. Coming up on the show, tips on how to make it in dairy production. How technology or artificial intelligence is being applied in animal husbandry. And the story of a Ugandan enterprise that has pushed its products on the shelves of supermarkets in Europe and America. But first, the insurance industry has for a long time grappled with the challenge of professionalism. Indeed, the industry for quite some time had to depend on human resource from a neighboring country to drive critical elements of business. Today, this picture is changing, and how this is being done is our focus in this segment. Jeremy, it's good to have you on the show, Money and Markets. Now, for starters, how would you look at professionalism in the insurance industry in Uganda?
I think there are some very strong foundations from what I've learned in the last couple of days. I think the regulator is quite active, and mandating qualifications is a very effective way of attracting people who want to take the role seriously and discouraging those who don't. And I think that's that can give a positive factor for ultimately the consumers and their experience of the market. I sense that there's a strong drive for continuing professional development, which is around once you're qualified to whichever level you need to be, keeping your knowledge up to date, because things change, things evolve. Everybody's job changes in some way, shape or form over time. And I think that's really important, and it was very heartening to hear the regulator talking about that and really promoting that to the practitioners here today.
How important is professionalism, to the growth of an industry, a professional industry like insurance?
I think the industry can only grow medium and long term. And as long as you have the right fundamentals in place, it will grow in the right direction. Now,
if you compare where you're coming from, to what is happening in Uganda, what lessons do you think Uganda can draw, and how have you, moved that side? Which, experience you think can be replicated here for the good of the industry?
Well, I think let's start off with, yes, I think you're definitely on the right track because of the foundations which I've observed. I think gaps really come from what can you do next? What more can you do? I think wherever we are in the world, insurance has a challenge in terms of its reputation. And I believe that in order to change the public perception, we shouldn't just be compliant. We shouldn't just do what we're supposed to do. We need to wow. And once you wow for long enough, then perceptions change. But if we just comply with what is good, it won't get any worse, but we want it to get better.
To those that are positive or optimists, this is a growth opportunity, but others would say it's a challenge. There's still a lot of work that the industry has to do to actually fill this gap. Now, how can the industry, turn around this picture? Of course, standing on the pedestal of growing the penetration and entrenchment of professionalism.
I would hope that the insurance penetration would increase as the GDP of the country increases. I think as long as it's based on the right principles and you've got the right culture in place, then you move things in the correct direction as the economy grows. That's not to say you should rest on your laurels. Always important to take stock of where we are, what's working well, what's not working well, and how do we address the things which are not working well. And the answers can come from within, the answers can also come from outside.
So do you think policy plays a role in the growth and expansion of insurance?
I think, yes, it is critical because that shapes the way the economy grows. And the way the economy grows will determine the take-up of insurance. We see through our work throughout the world that as the middle class develops, people owning more property, owning more assets, that increases the need to insure.
What would be your last word?
I've seen many good things here in Uganda this week. Very pleased that we have the recognition of prior learning to help change help upgrade the national qualifications to international qualifications, and to be collaborating very positively with the Insurance Institute of Uganda.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're very welcome.
Anyone in business will tell you that pushing your products as a Ugandan businessman or woman onto the shelves of supermarkets in Europe or America is not a simple feat. Well, this entrepreneur has conquered that. And how he has done it is what we're looking at in this segment. A critical challenge to most Ugandan-based businesses is access to markets outside Uganda. Many would vividly tell you that it's easy to import than to export from Uganda. The reasons range from barriers to trade, both tariffs and non-tariff, which are oftentimes worsened by the utter failure of most local companies to measure up to the standards and trade requirements of especially the European and American markets. Some companies are, however, taking deliberate efforts and steps to circumvent this hurdle, starting with appreciating the realities.
Way back in 2013, Kawacom Uganda Limited made a transformative business decision in the way of doing business, coffee business in West Nile districts of Mebi, Zombo, and Arua. The transformative business decision Kawacom made in 2013 was hinged on business constraints of the coffees that the farmers affiliated to Kawacom in West Nile were delivering. There was quality inconsistency, and sometimes you would have inferior coffee qualities.
So how is this company dealing with these realities? Well, the story starts in a simple territory, the farm. At this stage, products, especially those that are agricultural in nature, and in this case coffee, can have their quality affirmed or compromised. So Kawacom says it had to deliberately invest effort at this stage, and this farmer is among those touched.
Started planting coffee in year 2007. After that, when I planted, I have planted 100 trees of coffee by that time. After that, Kawacom sent field officer to come and survey those farmers who have planted coffee. But when the field officer came to me, he found that I've already planted some coffee. And then he picked me as a change agent to go for training.
More to that, the company has to be sure of the constant supply of coffee to meet its quotas with buyers. And addressing potential problem areas like farm organization and the kind of seeds they have access to becomes critical here.
These seedlings will be given to farmers around April, May, June, this period when the seasons of rain has come. This is December. Seeds we normally plant here is regulated by Uganda Coffee Development Authority. So really it's not advisable to pick any seed or to bring any variety.
In this business model, the farmer's life is transformed and the company's aspirations are met with a view of ensuring sustainable growth.
Then after getting the training, after that I've got a good improvement. I've started from here, and then my vision, I've thought about the vision, then my vision Give me the commercial building by the road there. This is the good improvement. But it's not less, it is a big improvement.
To achieve this, and for the company to secure a strong place among coffee exporters in Uganda, it sought support from critical partners.
We put a business proposal to Agribusiness Initiative Trust to help us, to give us support, to provide solutions that would address these constraints and enable farmers participate in coffee business. We dedicated funds from Trust to establish or construct a state-of-the-art central processing mill called the White Nile Wet Processing Mill in Zombo district.
Today, this company is able to place Ugandan coffee in the supermarket shelves in Europe.
Because of the improvement in the qualities of the coffees that are central processed in the White Nile wet mill, we attracted, we interested new roaster clients, notable global roaster clients, to buy the coffee from here, who were not traditional buying coffee from this region. And these new clients include the Starbucks Coffee, Avid Nordquist, IKEA, Ahold.
The benefits go beyond just that.
IKEA, which is one of our new clients, markets the coffee, which is processed from White Nile, as a single origin coffee. Now, coffee from Uganda loses a name once it reaches Europe, once it reaches China, once it reaches US, simply because the qualities are very inferior. They use them for blending. But we have been able to put the coffee from West Nile as a single origin coffee with the name White Nile.
The important lesson here is that while some aspiring agribusiness exporters pay less attention to developing important partnerships as they focus on profit as an important motivator, making it sustainably besides having the money, building partnerships with critical constituents right from the farmers can determine fortunes in this space. That story brings us to the end of the first segment of this show. We still have more in stock for you.